I believe it was Albert Einstein who once said, "The height of insanity is to do the same thing and expect a different result." That's quite a profound statement when you think about it, and to be honest, a little bit severe. But when you relate it to snooker, there's a lot of truth in it. If something isn't working, then quite honestly, it needs to change. And this is the problem that not only me as a coach, but other coaches have. People do not like change. You do what you do at this game because it's comfortable for you. You know, you stand as you do because you feel comfortable. You work the cue as you do because it feels comfortable. But that doesn't necessarily mean it is correct. Somebody like me comes along and says, right, this is what you're doing and I believe it to be wrong. This is how I want you to do it, which I believe to be correct. And straight away, the moment you change, please take it from me, it will feel uncomfortable. I can relate it to golf. I'm quite a beginner at golf, but I'm reading books about it. I'm trying to think of his name. There's a great golfer, Sam Snead, that's who it is, Sam Snead, who once said, if you change your grip at golf and it feels comfortable, take it from me, take it from him, right? That if it feels comfortable, then you haven't changed your grip. Now you can also relate that to snooker. Yeah, as I said at the start of this, what Albert Einstein said, it's a very profound statement. All right, probably a little severe for us snooker players, but if you replace that word insanity with the word naive, and we come to say, right, it's a little naive to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It just does not happen. If you're making, shall we say, 30 and 40 breaks at snooker, and then you're wondering why you're breaking down, my experience has taught me that generally speaking, there's something, might be quite small, but something that is wrong with the technique. So when we start really looking at it, the most important thing for me, this is just my view, if you differ with me, that's fine. But there's only one thing got hold of that cue, and it's this hand. I'm a right-hander, it's this hand. Right? There's only one thing delivers that cue, this hand. I believe there's only one thing that plays snooker, and it's this hand. Yes, this piece of wood helps, of course it does, and everything, like how you stand, all those elements are important. Nobody's denying that. But to get one single aspect which needs to be correct, it's the hand that holds the cue. Now I've talked at length of it in other videos. I've talked about the front of the hand, unfurling the back fingers, etc. I'd like to go a little bit deeper, if I may. Now, if we look at the top players now, most of them, not all, I accept that, but most of them are into this fleshy part of the hand at the front. That controls the wrist, keeps the wrist in line. Yeah, makes it in unison with this elbow joint, makes them both work in harmony. Then we need something like a trigger. Yeah, we need to get that first initial movement of the cue, and that's where the trigger comes in. If you were pointing a gun and all you had to do was pull a trigger, then generally speaking, we'd pop that ball 99 times out of 100 because there's no movement. So here, this is where it goes wrong, when we start moving this cue. So if we can establish a trigger. Now if you go back to my earlier video, you'll see that what I did was I held the cue with a full grip, concentrating on the front. I pull the cue in here, allowing the cue to ease the hold of these fingers. They never ever come off the cue. They're always touching here. All right? I'd like to take it a stage further for you serious players. you need a trigger. So what we've got now is I want you to concentrate on this third finger. So we're trapping the cue now between here, this fleshy part here, and the third finger here. All right? All these others play a part, of course they do, but here, this is the main part of the grip. So I'm here, yeah, and I just deliver the cue from there. The hand closes from there. But look, I'm on the V here, and I'm on the third finger here. Some players will concentrate purely on the front of the hand. So as they go back, they've made the circle here, yeah, and it locks as they go back. If these other fingers are still touching, but they concentrate on this front of the hand, almost ignoring the back of the hand. I don't believe that is the best way. I believe here is here, this third finger is the key rather than the front of the hand. But it's an individual thing. You know, whatever suits you is right. Now, all you as an individual have got to try and determine or ascertain is how much unfurling of these fingers that you do. If you look at, shall we say, Ding Junhui, he does exactly what I'm telling you to do or asking you to do, but he has minimal unfurling of these fingers, quite minimal indeed. He does it very well. Now, if you go to someone like Ali Carter or Anthony Hamilton, they have quite severe release, generally speaking. There are still shots where they don't have quite so much. Sean Murphy, when he's doing one of his famous long pots to stop the white dead, he has quite severe release here. But basically what he's doing, he's trapping the cue here and here on that third finger. And the two combined, when you close, they become a trigger. Now I want to emphasize, you know, people are asking me about, do you squeeze or do you let it happen naturally? Right? Well, it's not a squeeze. Not when you're doing long shots. It's certainly not a squeeze. Just let it happen naturally. Because if you squeeze, there's a very real danger of just pulling the cue offline, enough to make you miss, certainly over distance shots. So just let it happen naturally. Hold on those 2 points here, and just let it close naturally, allowing the trigger to work, but also allowing this piece of wood to do a little bit of the work. Very, very important. So here, I need to pot this blue. I'll just cue at the side for a second, side of the whiteboard, so you can see I'm concentrating on the grip, not on whether the pot is successful, not at this stage. So here, I'm taking the cue back with my arm, yeah, it coming into the first finger, it's into the V here, and it's on the third finger. They're the things that I'm feeling. So I'm here, do a little bit of preparation, hold on the third finger, play the shot. Now you notice the hand is closed and the shot has been completed. Yes, if you're playing little dinky shots from here, where I don't need to be so accurate, but I need to get a quick reaction, say a screw shot off that object ball rather quickly. Yes, I can develop a little bit of a squeeze from there. So now I just squeeze the cue forward very gently. Very, very gently. So be careful with this squeeze. Please try and find an element where you're on here and you're on here and you let it close naturally. The squeeze you can have a play around with on your shorter shots where the pot is almost unmissable. Right? You can have a little bit of a play around that area. It's all about a little bit of experimentation. You know, what is right for you as a player. Good luck with that practice.